David.
James Farley, digga-dum. James Farley, digga-dum.
You still doing that? Did you do that last week? I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
It sounds like something. I think we commented about it last time as well.
Oh, what? What, me doing the ringtone with your name in it?
I think so.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Do you want to start again?
Nah. Let's plough through.
I think it's fine.
I'm calling you because I have seen Spider-Man Homecoming, the first of the Spider-Man films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, starting from Iron Man.
I've seen Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness.
I don't want you to tell me anything about that.
I'm not going to. I'll tell you in a couple of months.
Actually, no. Was it good?
It was good, yeah.
Oh, really? Cool. Because you said, I ain't looking forward to it. The reviews have been shit.
It was.
That's what you said to me.
It was better than the one we've seen already.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
All right.
But that's all I'll say.
Good old Doctor Strange, is he? Well, I mean, I need to tell you something.
Oh no, what's happened?
You
watched the wrong one.
No, I wouldn't normally do this, but I will say that I did not like Spider-Man Homecoming.
Really?
And the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm sure there are people that love this film that will not want to hear me going through my notes, bitching and moaning. So I think if anyone's a massive fan of this film, you might want to turn off. Although it might be interesting to hear you explain why it's loved, because I do not understand. Other than it being Spider-Man, I don't understand what's to like about this movie.
Really? There's a one. This has got one of my favourite villains in it.
No way.
Yeah,
really?
Seriously. Yeah.
There's a scene in this that is absolutely fantastic. Right, really.
You mean the one in the car, right?
Yeah, okay, right, when we get there, I love that scene, right? The rest of his character is fucking shit.
No, it's not.
So, right,
that's the whole point.
Here we go. All right.
This is absurd. I mean, there's lots of really good bits in this film. This is really mad.
It's
I'm
really
actually
bad
surprised.
film, and let me tell you why.
Fuck off, is it a bad film? That's insane. Okay, go on.
Okay. Opening, talking about the kids being into Avengers now. Hey, you remember when it used to be firemen? And now they all want to be the Avengers. It's like, yeah, all right, okay. We get it. We're distracted because one of the actors in that... Oh, okay. There's two actors. Have you seen Severance on Apple TV?
Yes, I have. I told you to watch it.
Did you? Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So, we've still got 3 episodes to watch. But there's 2 of the main actors are in this film.
Are they?
Are they? Yeah, the guy that writes the book.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the guy that's helping out. He's like the right-hand man to the main villain.
Is he?
Yeah, right at the start. You see him right at the start, and then, there's...
You mean the guy that keeps on saying he wants to do the vacuum thing? Or whatever?
Yeah, the guy that's sitting there, he's 90% of the film, he's just sitting at that desk in front of some tech.
And he just keeps on saying, can we do the vacuum thing? And they're like, no. And then eventually he's like, yes. And he's like,
that's the guy that writes the book. I'm almost certain it is.
Are you sure?
Oh, we need to search this now. Okay.
I'll search it.
No, hold on. No, wait. Severance cast, because we need to get, because I've got, that was a big
not the Danny
thing
Dyer
in
one.
This. So he was Michael Chernus. IMDb.
Yeah.
Was he in?
If he wasn't, this is going to be quite fun.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was him. Okay.
God, you're really bad at linking characters. There's also someone else in this film that's in Severance as well.
Who?
We'll get there, because I've written a note about it. Right. Sorry, if people haven't seen Severance, this is the shittest part of any of the calls we've done.
No, but it is. But if you haven't watched it, you probably should, because it's really good.
I think
don't start
I'm they need to start answering questions. I've got 3 episodes next. Right, as long as they do. Good. Right. I think I've seen this. This is really familiar to me. Also, the sound is really echoey, and I'm not sure if it's my sound system that's just fucked or if the film sounds awful. Yes, this intro scene just sounds like a total mess. What the fuck?
Well, hang on. Which intro bit are you talking about? Where they do the whole home video thing, or are you talking about?
No. That was great. I really like that. No, I'm talking about on the construction site. You've got the main bad guy. He's being kicked off a job, and he's having an argument with the people that are they linked to Shield? Are they what? That's
no. They're okay. So they're government, So
this is just after the Battle of New York, right?
Yeah. So it's United States government, but then it's also in partnership with Stark Industries or whatever.
That's right.
So this is where you get the motivation for this film.
Yeah, I know, but it is the shittest motivation. But we'll get there. We'll talk about his motivation in a bit, because the motivation does not line through. It does not line through. No, it doesn't, James.
Just because he's not trying to destroy the world, he's an interesting villain. This one,
no, he's not. Right. But didn't you find that the sound was just like really echoey? I was like, you're supposed to be
no.
It was. It is.
It was not. I don't know what you're talking about.
But when I fast forward, when we got to the next scene, it sounded perfect. Just that intro scene sounded really like someone had recorded the audio in the cinema. Like that's what it sounded like for that opening scene. It was crazy. Yes, we watched it on Netflix, so it wasn't a hooky copy. It was watched on Netflix. Right. Okay. It already put me in a bad mood, that. Something about some pissed off characters being chucked off the job.
Yeah.
Bellend from Severance stole something from the alien wreckage, right? So this sets up the fact that they're stealing some alien tech from...
Yeah, they're just stealing alien technology. Right, it's Jitari technology and stuff they're stealing. Yeah.
I don't know what Jitari is, but there we go. 8 years later, this dude already has better wings than Falcon. It's true, isn't it?
It is, it's kind of true. Yeah.
It's like Falcon's an Avenger, and he's like, well, what can you do? I've got these wings, but there's this bad guy, and he's got way better wings. So
yeah, and they're massive.
And they're cooler. Well, can you make can you make me better wings like that guy? No. But you've made 3 suits for Spider-Man in this weekend.
Yeah.
And I've still got these really shitty wings. And we've seen this guy now. He's got great wings. Shut up, Falcon. Go find the Ant-Man again. Everyone finds it funny. Right. Home movie with Happy Hogan and Spider-Man. Goes right up to the airport fight. I love that. Yeah, that was really cool.
That whole sequence was brilliant.
Yeah, it was good.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I really liked that too. I was in at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Parker told to wait for the next mission. Hogan not replying to his message. Weird way to treat an Avenger, right? Like
he's not an Avenger.
Right? Okay. I get this wrong. Like Wonder just strolled in and is part of the whole thing, but Spider-Man, no, harsh. I did not know. I've mentioned this a couple of times at the start of this film. I did not know he was supposed to be 15.
I know. And you see, that is the only thing with this film that I think doesn't work. Is that
he's not a 15-year-old.
There's no way he looks 15. Like,
when he takes his shirt off and he's like massively ripped, and you go, what 15-year-old looks
that's
like
what
that?
I looked like that when I was 15.
So did I when I put my head through one of those little holes on a pier. I was doing all sorts of weights.
But no, it's mad because the thing is, right, is see, Tom Holland he's the youngest person who's been Spider-Man, like in films. He's 19, like when they shot this.
Okay.
And he looks 19. Like he doesn't look 15, like at all. It's crazy. Like, I mean, why not just make him like 16 or 17 or something?
They get that absolutely wrong. Like, he's not 15 in this film. So I'm sitting there going, why are they not letting him be in the Avengers? Why are they treating him like a piece of shit? And then right towards the end of the film, he goes, but you're 15. And I'm going, oh, I get it now, but he's not.
But also because he keeps repeatedly fucking up as well, throughout everything.
Yeah, but so did Iron Man.
No, not like this.
Oh, come on.
Everything was his fault, pretty much, in this film. Like Spider-Man, he causes all the problems for everything.
All right. With the I will say though, they should have said at the start of the like he should have turned around and gone, "Hey, I'm just your average 15-year-old. I'm only 15." or like when's the next mission? Sorry, you're too young, you're 15. They should have said that right at the start.
It could have been his birthday. And it's like, oh, look, it's my 15th birthday party.
I wish I was 16. That's a year away. Yeah. Spider-Man. Just chill. Right, okay. Parker watching Spider-Man videos at school. I bet James watched TCGS live videos while he's at university. He works out. Is that what you do?
Never done that.
I bet I bet you sit there with your laptop at the back of you're teaching the kids or whatever, and then you look at your laptop and there's you on stage behind the podium. And there you go,
pointing at people.
Dr. Farley, and then you like slam the thing down and go, sorry. Yes, sorry. Right, okay.
Never done that, but yeah.
In the shop, this is when he goes into his... he's just a local kid, he knows everyone. Although this whole scene was a bit shit. There was a bit where they both spoke Spanish, but there were no subtitles in the one that I was watching. I could kind of guess what they were saying, But it's a bit weird that there were no subtitles.
There wasn't mine.
I was just watching default Netflix, so...
Okay. Well, there was a mine.
What do they say? They like, hey... Say, right, okay, let me guess. I'll tell you what I thought he said.
Go on. Yeah, I can't wait to hear this. Go on.
So the guy behind the counter says something about Aunt May to his mate, and Peter Parker surprises him because he understood it.
You're half right.
Go on.
That is what happens. So the guy does say about Aunt May being hot and everything.
Yeah.
And then Peter says back to him, "How's your daughter?" She's doing
my God. Jesus, that's a bit... Okay.
And then there's like then they're discussing about how much he ought to pay and all that. Because the guy looked genuinely pissed off after he said.
Yeah, no shit. It doesn't really compare. You got a hot aunt. Yeah, well, your daughter's fit. That's like, that makes me go, I don't like that. Right. And there's another actor from Severance.
Which one's this?
So this is, the guy that works in there, the one that's really motivated and he wants to win all the finger traps.
Yes.
He's by one of the stalls and he looks up and goes, "Hey, you're that spider guy."
Okay, I didn't. Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what we're talking about. Do you mean the bit where he's like on top of the building?
That's right.
And he's like looking down, and the guys like do a backflip and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
That's the guy from Severance. Yeah, watch it again. It's bad.
Didn't notice it. Okay.
I think it's because we're watching it like this week.
Yeah, it's probably
Spider-Man being a rubbish hero and a Stan Lee cameo. That's it for this film, I hope. This is done. This is out of the way now, please. Right, we don't see him again. That's fine.
What have you got up with these? Like, you've got progressively more down on them as we've gone on.
Right. Okay, look. I mean, respect the man. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But here's the thing. Right. One, they stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Two, they're never funny. Three, they're crowbarred in. Like... ridiculously crowbarred in.
All of those things may be true, but that doesn't make them necessarily bad, though.
Yes, it does.
I don't know. I think they're all right.
So what do you get out of it when you see him in these films? Do you go like, "Yes, that's it"?
No, Rachel always goes, "It's Stan Lee," and like points at him. Like, seriously.
Do you know what though? I'm going to be sad for the first film where he's not in it. Do you know what that is? Don't tell me then.
I won't tell you.
Don't tell me which one that is.
We've got a little while yet.
That is going to be sad when that happens, actually. Yeah. Fair play. But for now, he's leaning out of the window going,
come on, he didn't have a lot by the end. And it's this is something, isn't it?
Spider-Man has been totally mugged off by the Avengers here. Bang out of all that. Didn't know he was 15. Spider-Man versus the Avengers. What have I put there? I'm amazed at how much of the film has changed from the trailer. Lines, shots, all in the trailer, but slightly different in the film. Did you know that? Have you seen the trailer?
I haven't watched the trailer for years.
You got to watch it. It's mad. Like, it's really, really different. There's whole lines that are changed in the main film from scenes that are in the trailer. It's quite jarring at times. I was like...
Yeah, but you're watching the film, not the trailer. Like, forget the trailer.
No, of course. But usually... I don't know. It was like what was that? Rogue One. Was it Rogue One where you watch the trailer and the main character from that is running along like a platform and then a TIE fighter flies up right in front of her. And you're like, whoa, I can't wait for that bit. Yeah. And then when you actually watch a film,
it's not in the film, is it?
Yeah, she goes across the platform and nothing happens, and you're like, where's the TIE fighter? It was a bit like that. It was a bit like that.
Bit was really cool.
Yeah. There was nothing that bad, but bad guy's got a gravity gun from Half-Life 2, though. This is when they're the Avengers.
The ATM.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, come on, that was funny. That whole thing.
Right, okay. So, in the trailer, Spider-Man busts in and goes, "You're not the Avengers. Look at you. Look, it's the Hulk." He gives it away. And I thought it was a funny line. Doesn't say it in this. He pretends they're the Avengers all the way through the fight.
Yeah.
So that was really odd. Like, that was like, oh, right, okay. But yeah, so this is where he's fighting the bad guys that have the Avengers. Yeah, that was pretty good. I like this scene. Happy Hogan is not coming off well in this film, is he?
No, he's a bit of a prick, isn't he?
He is a bit of a prick in this.
Although, I mean, you find out that he is actually communicating everything, but then he is just being an arse, isn't he, about the whole thing?
A total dick. Like, I like the fact at the end, he's like, actually... I've been like totally a mentor looking over him and letting Tony Stark know that, you've got a lot of potential, mate. But for the whole film, you've been like, fuck you, leave me alone, I don't like you. And why have you been a dick to him the whole time?
Yeah.
A horrible character in this film. In fact, actually, Happy Hogan, I don't think he's ever been a nice character, is he?
Well, he's a hanger-on, isn't he? And he's somebody that it's pretty clear that he knows that he's only there kind of by luck, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but like, he's arrogant with that as well. Like,
that's like part of him dealing with that, though, isn't it? It's like it's that sort of, fake it until you make it kind of thing, isn't it?
I think it's more like a member of the entourage that thinks he's made it because he knows someone that's famous. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, don't act the big man because you know a famous person. Happy Hogan. Right, okay. Ned finds out about Peter. May doesn't know. Ned asking lots of stupid questions. I mean, this was okay, but
come on, this was all right.
Look, I like Tom Holland. Yeah. I think I started to appreciate Peter Parker a little bit more.
Yeah,
but I don't think he quite got
this. You see, this Peter Parker though is closer, I think, to. Okay, if we, because you obviously played both of the PlayStation games.
Yes.
Right. So this Peter Parker is closer in tone, I feel, to Miles Morales.
Oh, don't you ever?
No.
Say that.
No. What I mean by that is that both of those characters are sort of coming to terms with the power they've got, and are fucking up constantly. But that's like, the whole thing.
Peter Parker is not clumsy enough with it. Like the endearing thing about Miles Morales, is that he's a total clumsy mess. Yeah, and you love him for it. Here, you're seeing him backflip over like beds and stuff, and you just go, yeah, okay.
I mean, it's different, isn't it? Because as you said, like with Miles Morales, it's kind of endearing, but with Peter Parker, it's basically because he's arrogant. With he's kind of arrogant now with it. But then
he's arrogant in terms of his powers, isn't he? But he's not in terms of, like, I prefer Peter Parker being Peter Parker than I preferred Peter Parker being Spider-Man, if that makes sense. But we'll discuss this. I also quite like Ned. I think Ned's a good character. I think he didn't really. He got sadly, I think he got labelled with the comedy best friend. Thing here, which I think actually the times where he wasn't being that was a lot better than the times where he was being that. Like the whole, hey, so can you jump? How far can you shoot your webs? Like, I was like, okay, I guess it's kind of funny, but it's not hitting the comedy like beats properly, is it? It's like, okay, this is the sort of stuff that should be in it. Right, Coach showing the Captain American video. These are the best bits in the film.
I know these were. I really love this because also it's the guy from like Eric Andre.
Yeah. It's the Eric Andre show. Yeah, he was brilliant in this, and the coach comes out with a video, and then and then they show like a really bad educational video from Captain America, and then the coach says, Yeah, pretty sure he's a war criminal now, but we've still got to show him. I was like, that was such a good line.
Captain America had like some quote. I can't remember what it was, but it was so funny that I nearly texted it to you because I thought it was a really good one.
It's the fact that he goes. Do you know what I love about that line? Is that it genuinely refers to Civil War. Right, it's funny and it's just short. It's just a big punch. Like, pretty sure he's a war criminal now, but I was like, that's what these films should have more of, I think. There's not enough. I'll wait till much.
I know exactly what you mean. It's that sort of like casual, like
it's casual comedy, isn't it? It's so subtle that not subtle. It's so basic. The comedy in this, I thought this needs more punch. Like that line is hilarious. There's not enough of it. There's just not enough gags like that in it. The rest of it is, I fell over and I was surprised that there wasn't a scene where Peter Parker had his elbow on a desk and his head on his hand and his elbow slipped and I was surprised there wasn't a bit like that in it. You know what I mean? It was that sort of humour.
Yeah, but it's not. This is not a comedy though, like this film.
Yeah, but it's not really.
This is a coming-of-age film.
Okay,
that's what it is.
But even that was poorly handled, I think. Okay, we'll get it. We'll get there.
Go on.
Weird thing about Parker having to invite Spider-Man to that girl's party. Right, okay, that was... Like, again, that was... Have you ever seen that episode of South Park where they parody high school films?
No.
So, basically, the South Park kids go skiing, and there's this one kid who, like... is the bad guy. He's basically a parody of a bad guy in a teen drama film, American teen drama film. And like he goes up to Stan Marsh and goes, "What's your name?" He goes, "Oh, I'm Stan Marsh." "Stan Darsh. I tell you what, Stan Darsh, if you think you're so good at skiing," "I don't think I'm so good at skiing. If you think I'm so good at skiing, meet me at the top of Death Mountain and we'll see who gets to the bottom fastest, Stan Darsh." And he's like, "What, are you a chicken? You a chicken?" "Yeah, okay, I'm a chicken." I went, "It's a chicken." Like, it was a bit like that. And the sort of bad guy in this is a bit like that. It's like,
but you see, that's completely understandable.
If you know Spider-Man, invite him to the party then. I know. Fuck off.
But you see, that's the thing, because one of the major inspirations with the director with this film was that he wanted to do like a John Hughes like style film. Like he made all the cast watch John Hughes films as well, like before this.
What are John Hughes films? I don't know John Hughes films.
Things like Ferris Bueller and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I know John Hughes films.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had more going for them. Right, okay, I've got to stop.
But hang on, but this has also got one of my favourite lines in it, though, that bit in that party.
Go on.
You know when he's doing the DJing and he just keeps saying, "You say penis, I say Parker." That's what.
We ain't in the party yet. Okay. Okay, we are in the party bit because I put, what's the deal with high school parties in America? High school over there is wildly different to what we have over here, assuming that all American films are accurate. Like, when you were in high school in England, James, when did you ever get invited to a party at someone's house where a DJ was playing in the front room and there were no parents around? It just never happened, did it?
David, I was never invited to any parties.
I mean, nor was I, really. Maybe they did happen. James.
No, what we used to do was you'd go over somebody's house, and then everyone would go out to the pub together. Like, no one ever stayed in somebody's home.
What, not at 15, James?
Okay, when you were like 17, 18.
Yeah, when you were 17, 18, you would. But like when you were like 15, you would go around and bring a present and go upstairs and play video games. Like, that's what we did. Yeah. Or there'd be a McDonald's party where you go and see the fridge. Right, okay.
But you see, also the other thing about that is that character, like his name's Flash, right? Do you remember that or not?
What? Say that again? Yeah, the character's name is Flash, yeah.
So the guy's name is Flash, and he's also been quite significantly changed in this from the one that there has been before. Because usually before, he was always like the sort of like bully, but like jock kind of like big guy.
But he's in the team now. He's in the nerd team.
He is, yeah, but he wasn't in like comic books and stuff before. Like, he was always like the more physically imposing person that used to beat up Peter Parker and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Before he got like strong, so they changed him into like this sort of like, being like rich and.
Why did they do that? Because I would have loved to have seen Peter Parker being like picked on and then him just using his powers or whatever.
I don't know, but I mean, it's funny because I was reading obviously for before we did this, and like the guy who plays him got death threats, like when it was announced that he was going to be Flash, because people were not happy about the change in direction. I have no idea.
Do you know what, fucking people? I'm so fed up. Like, honestly,
there's a lot of things with this film that people were not happy about.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I've got no interest in contacting any of the cast.
Mostly with casting, people were not happy with.
There is a question I've got later on, actually.
Okay.
I bet I know one of them. I fucking hate people, James, honestly.
I know. It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's like, but you see, the thing is people are so weird because
that someone comes along and just goes, "Okay, we're stopping the internet." What? We need it but no, we're stopping the internet.
No, it's gone too far.
It's gone now. We just turn it off. This amazing tool that's connected everything, gives you everything you need these days. We'll just turn it off because there's too many dickheads about.
People are just wasting it. Yeah. Just being idiots.
Yeah. Just do it. I mean, preferably after we've put all these out. It's been a lot of work.
Come on, the penis Parker thing was well funny. I love that.
It was okay.
Come on, he was like, "You say penis, I say Parker," and all that. That made me laugh a lot. Then
I don't understand you with this film. I thought you'd be on my side.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Did you like the bit where he called him penis, did you?
I did. I thought it was funny. Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, Peter sees some exploding blue stuff and ditches Ned at the party.
Penis Parker. Like, it sounds like Peter, but it's penis.
Well, no, because they call it a Peter over there, don't they?
Do they? I don't know.
I think that's like Percy. Over here we call it Percy, don't we?
Do we?
Or Dick. Yeah. Richard.
Richard, yeah.
Yeah. John Thomas is another one, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, go on. Yeah.
Cock. Bang out of order there. You'd still pop in quickly, right? Why?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Why didn't he just pop in?
Yeah, why didn't he just pop in and just go
and say something now?
Is Peter here? Because I really want to see him. He's my best mate. Got to go then. Bye. Fine. Yeah. Done. Then go and have a look at the blue thing. There wasn't a big enough thing to ditch Ned at the party. I felt so sorry for Ned.
Yeah.
Right. Spider-Man tried to hold on to the van after the arms deal went bad. Birdman catches Spider-Man and then drops him in the river, saved by Iron Man, or at least one of his suits. So, okay, fine.
And then also tells him, like, just stop fucking around with this. Like, it's not your business, basically.
I think it is his business.
You think it is?
Yeah. Go ahead and make an argument for this now?
Yeah, because he'd already told the FBI, like, about it, and they were handling it.
Right, but he's supposed to be the friendly friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, but he was supposed to start small.
But there's arms deals going on in his fucking neighbourhood.
Yeah, but that's like big. That's like a big thing. Like, it should be like ATM robberies and stuff like that. Although he messed that up. So
where's the line? Where's the line? What should he be doing?
Like supervillains involved.
So you just basically want him to be a PSO.
What do you mean?
Was it a personal support officer? What do they call them? The public support officer.
The ones that like walk around pretend they're police, but they're not police.
You want him to be one of them.
No, but
Spider-Man,
with a bit more bite.
The man that has the webs and that.
I know, but he's 15 and he's dabbling with like arms dealers. It's a bit much.
15. I didn't know that at the time, James. Right, okay. Okay. Wing Dude fires a guy. The guy blackmails him. Wingman shoots him with the wrong gun. That was funny. That was a good moment. Right, okay, I enjoyed that. Weird. I was expecting a scene where Ned is really angry with Peter about the party thing and they got all emotional and maybe break up as friends. But instead, they're working on alien tech and they're best friends and nothing has been said about it. That's weird. Yeah,
Ned's just a very forgiving guy.
James, that was fucking weird, man.
Would you be really pissed off by that then?
No, I just thought with all the build-up about... Right, okay, here's the thing. There's all this build-up about Peter Parker being friends with Spider-Man. It's built up. And he comes to the party then. Oh, he's come to the party. Come on, Ned. Sure. Oh, I don't know. Have you got the suit underneath there? Yeah, I got the suit. I'm ready to do it. Well, then he ditches Ned at the party, goes off, and then what? So then what?
I don't know. I think Ned's just really understanding because, he's obviously doing crime stuff. I think it's fine.
There's all that build-up and he just doesn't... That was weird, James.
Did
you not sit there and think, why are they not talking about the party thing?
I did think he could have just popped in for a second.
Right.
That would have been fine.
But didn't you think...
I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
No, okay, fine. But didn't you think the next day that Ned wouldn't have gone, what the fuck happened at the party, man? You totally left me there.
It's not Ned's style.
Like, Aunt May was supposed to pick us up.
He was fine.
I had to walk home. That's weird.
Maybe May picked him up.
Okay. What, man? Then no, okay. Peter now going on the school trip.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not loving this film so far. It just seems like it's plodding along and not doing anything.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Like this sort of midsection of the film, it begins to sag quite a lot.
Yeah, it gets better. It gets better. The beginning's pretty decent. This middle bit is not very good. This whole bit with the lift and everything, I really didn't like this bit. It just seemed... What's the fucking point? All right, okay.
That was pretty cool as well.
Yeah,
the whole climbing up the monument and then him being scared of being that high up as well. I thought was interesting.
Okay, right. Okay.
You would be you'd be pretty scared. Wouldn't you be scared if you were up like that?
I didn't know he was 15. Okay, I'm sure I've seen bits of this film somewhere. Has this been on TV a lot?
Don't know. Probably.
Because here's the one thing. I don't think I've seen any... I've never been flicking through and seen a Thor film on. Right, yeah. But I am sure I've seen some of this on TV.
There's more likely this would have been because these films are much bigger. Because these are
Sony, right?
Yeah, they're much bigger as well.
What do you mean they're bigger?
As in popularity-wise.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, they get a bigger bang at the box office.
They do. I mean, because every time we record these, just in case you ask me, I actually write down what the box office is for each film.
Okay.
You see, because I know that may be a question that's going to come up.
Right.
And I was looking, like Guardians of the Galaxy did 863 million, and this did 880 million.
Wow!
So it did a fair bit better. But there you go.
But Guardians of the Galaxy is a far superior film.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you there. Yeah, I would agree. I don't think this is better than Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's not bad. Anyway,
I don't know. Right, okay. Maybe we can talk about it at the end.
It's a great villain.
Okay. I'm sure. Right. Yeah. So I've seen this. I'm sure I'd seen this scene with the monument before, or bits of it anyway. Ned turning off the training wheels protocol.
Hang on. Are you skipping through the whole of the monument scene?
No, I've got that he does that before. Remember, because this is where.
Oh yeah, it's in the
So the monument scene comes later, but Ned turning off the training wheel protocol. This film is making me want to see Miles Morales in these films. So. I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to ask this in a specific way as to not spoil any future films, right?
Yeah.
But I will ask this. Has there been any mention of a Miles Morales film?
Right. I was hoping we were going to come to this at some point because I wanted to inform you about who a character was in this film because it hints towards some things.
Oh.
So,
okay, shall I hold on till the end then?
Well, no, because I don't know if we've already skipped through it or not.
Okay, because I know there's Into the Spider-Verse, and then there's a part 2 of that, but that is separate, right? I know that's completely separate.
Nothing to do with it,
Okay, fine.
But I mean, I can tell you who a character is. That it's not made clear in this who it is, but it is who it is. If you see what I mean.
Go on then.
Okay, so the bit when with the party thing, and then he sees all the blue explosions and stuff, right?
Yeah.
All right, and then he goes over, and there's a dude there who's buying weapons.
Yo,
and it's Donald Glover.
Donald Glover is the uncle.
He is Aaron Davis, who is the uncle.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay.
Who is also the Prowler, if you remember, like from the game. It's So yeah.
Yes, I do remember he's the Prowler from the game. Yeah. Okay, I like Donald Glover a lot, and I like
he's great in this as well.
He was okay in this. I thought his character was a bit shit, like he didn't really do anything. But I was sitting there thinking, why would Donald Glover do this?
Exactly, yeah, because it's like
obviously because he's got a deal later on down the line. Yeah, okay, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that's Aaron Davis.
Excellent. Okay. Oh no. Stark has overdone the UI again. Did you think that the HUD in the suit is now absolutely horrific?
I know, especially when he's also trying to work out how many combinations there are of like webbing, and it's like 500 or something like that. And it's just crazy. So that's too much.
It's absolutely ridiculous. He's sitting there.
He looks at everything. It's like a Ubisoft game, just like icons
That's exactly.
everywhere.
That was the first thing I thought of. That was the first thing I thought of. Also, way too many web shooter options is what I put. Yeah, okay. Spider-Man stuck in the vault. This whole bit was. Can you explain this bit to me?
Well, this was weird as well, wasn't it? Because it went on for quite a long time. I mean, I think the whole point of this was just for him to build this relationship with Karen, the AI or whatever
name for the AI.
It was pretty terrible, yeah.
Is the AI Karen that existed in previous things, or
not with that name, no. But there has been ones before.
I said you should have called it Cortana because it was Cortana.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, that whole scene, it feels like it's supposed to have some sort of big significance, like where they are or something like that. But then no, they just escape and then that's it. And it is a bit strange, that scene, and it does go on for quite a long time. Yeah. Go on then.
You're starting to realise?
No, because there's other stuff in this film that are good. Go on.
Okay. Okay. His school wins the competition, so another big built-up thing that comes to nothing.
What?
His school wins the competition.
Was that building up something that comes to nothing?
Because they go on about this competition over and over and over again, and then all of a sudden they just win it.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Do you not see? This is the second thing now that they've banged on for most of the film, and it just amounts to nothing.
Yeah, but it's not really that significant.
Exactly. So then why has it been a big thing throughout the film?
Because they've got to show that Peter has some connection to some things that are going on in the school, and that there's some reason for why he has to, why he's leaving, and why that is causing an absence problem.
I mean, they're going to come up with an idea that went somewhere, but fine.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
There's literally nothing wrong with that.
Bond went off in the lift. Yeah. This is where he works out what those little things were. He works out that, because that's why he's trying to get out of the vault, isn't it? Yeah, it's the radiation, all that. Bond went off in the lift. Spider-Man climbs to the top. For some reason, the police are threatening to shoot him.
Yeah, because it's some dude on top of the Washington Monument. What? You're just thinking, what's he doing there?
Right, okay. Okay, James. Okay.
Have you seen police over there? They shoot people for all sorts of reasons.
I've also seen people climb big buildings in America. And the helicopters don't get right up close, and someone leans out with a gun and says, "I'm going to shoot you if you don't." Do what? What did they want to do?
There'd been an explosion, so they're just thinking, "Is this a terrorism thing? Is this a terrorist?"
Okay. All right. Okay, but
what the fuck are they supposed to do? Just be not do anything?
People knew who the Spider-Man was. He was a thing before this.
I know, but they still don't know what's his motivation and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
What's he up to?
Okay.
Is he a bad one?
Well, he has been saving people in New York for 6 months.
No, he hasn't. No, that's the thing. He hasn't, though, has he? Because the only thing that he's done is he was involved with the Civil War stuff, and then he's been going around fucking things up in New York, mostly.
He caught that big car, remember?
He did catch that big car, but that was one of the only things that was any good.
He catched it.
I know that came out wrong. I don't know why does that happen. I don't know why that happens. Sometimes.
It's your emotions. It comes. Spider-Man gets in and saves the people in the lift. Okay.
Little homage in that as well to the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man film.
Go on.
Well, you know the bit where he's dangling down.
Yes.
And then the suit says to him, kiss her.
Oh, it's time to kiss her or whatever. And then he falls down.
Because that happens in the first Spider-Man film.
Yeah, the upside down kiss thing. Okay, yeah, fine, whatever.
For fuck's sake.
Captain America. So you've got detention. I do love these videos. That was my favourite one of all of them. I think it made me laugh a lot. Advanced interrogation protocol is just Spider-Man using an Xbox Live voice mask.
Yeah, it did sound like that, didn't it? It really sounded like that. It was like the Dark Master one that he was using.
But again, this is the thing. It was just more casual humour again. It was like, oh, hello. I was like, okay. I thought this was going to be funnier, James.
It was all right. I don't know what you're moaning about.
I wasn't laughing. I said, my next comment is, I'm a little bit bored, to be honest. Oh, God, I'm so sorry, James. Right, fighting on the boat. The fighting is damn cool with Pete using all his bits and bobs here. There needed to be more of this in this film.
Yeah, well, this is also him fucking everything, isn't it? In a big way.
Yeah, and
because the whole thing was that the FBI were already there because they'd all been tipped off, to deal with it.
But here's the thing. Right, okay, fine. Why didn't they tell him the FBI were all over it?
Because he trusted that he'd be not stupid enough to then go in and getting himself involved as well.
That is my favourite sentence you've ever said.
I know.
I wish I could write that out as a quote.
Because I'm getting emotional now and I can't construct sentences in the correct order because this is insane. This whole scene is a monument to him being a complete failure as a superhero.
But they should have told him.
But why? The whole point was that Tony Stark said to him, stop with this and just be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man or whatever. Right. And then he goes off and starts getting involved with a massive arms deal that's going down on a boat and then nearly sinks the thing.
What if someone had turned around to Tony Stark and said, stop with Ultron.
He's a grown-up.
We've got it. We've got this covered. We've got things going on here. Yeah. Just go and chill. Do you think Tony Stark would have chilled?
He probably would have done. I mean, look at the later films. He totally did chill when there was the Sokovia Accords and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, fair play. Okay. Boat cut in half. Iron Man shows up to save the day. Or is it just a suit? No, it is actually Iron Man. He takes the suit off. I didn't know Peter was 15. Yeah, it does seem a bit young. Fair enough.
So, didn't you like this relationship at all between Stark and Peter?
When I think about this relationship between Stark and Peter, I thought it was a bit one note. I thought, can we talk about it at the end? Because there's a bit at the end that I think sums up my feeling between. I don't think it was terribly well written, the relationship between the two. But yeah, we'll get to that. Peter Parker learning to return to normal life without being Spider-Man. So then there's like a bit of a thing where he
loses his well, he doesn't lose his power, but he loses his
asked the girl to the prom or whatever, and is learning how to dance with Aunt May. Okay, all this stuff was quite nice. I quite enjoyed this bit. Okay, did not see the twist coming.
See, and this is where it gets really good for me. I like this a lot, this whole bit. I really liked it.
Yeah, I'd agree. The bad guy's Liz's dad. Didn't see that coming. I thought it was a brilliant twist. Worked really well. Even though it was like one of those twists where it was like...
Of course,
not even of course, more just... There wasn't even the slightest hint at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was nothing.
But why would there be? Well, no, there was actually, but only if you already know, kind of, if you know what I mean. Like, so you know when there was the whole thing with the Washington Monument, like with that, he reacts to that like more so than you probably like. If you watch it back, if you watch that bit when they're told when it's like on TV or something like that, he looks more bothered than probably he would be if he didn't have somebody there. So there's a tiny hint, but you'd only get that if you've already seen it, I think.
Yeah. Okay. This is a great scene, to be fair. The car trip and his dad just works out who he is. Yeah, that whole bit was fucking excellent.
And he's proper menacing. Like like Michael Keaton was so good as this guy. Like I really think he was. Like
yes, I think his acting was good. I didn't like. Right, okay. Okay. Well, I've got a note a little bit further down. Can we just wait for a bit before we go into that? Okay. Threatening Spider-Man outside the dance. Yeah, this is getting much better now. Ned saving Spider-Man against the laser fist guy. That was cool. There was a mention of Cap's new shield.
Yes, it was like they said there's like a prototype, like new shield or something. Yeah.
So I'm assuming that comes up in a later film.
I think so.
He's getting a new shield, is he? Old Cap? Oh, a little bit.
There's also and Thor's belt as well for some reason that he talks about, which is weird.
Oh, he does, doesn't he? Yeah,
Thor's really magic
weird.
Belt. Yeah.
What are you doing here? Oh, yeah. So this is where you discover where Ned is. So Ned's hacking into stuff, all like about 3 or 4 things at the same time. And then you discover actually he's at school. And he's in the school IT room or whatever. And then someone catches him and says, what do they say, James?
They say, what are you doing? And then he says, I'm looking at pornography. I mean, I don't know why you'd say that. Like I'd agree with you that was a bad, lazy gag.
That's not my problem, My problem. My next thing is, honestly, I had no idea that today would be the day that I hear my son ask me what porn was.
Okay, yeah, that's a point, actually.
That's a problem.
Yeah. What did you say?
I was watching porn. And he went, what's porn?
Yeah.
She went, just videos.
Do you know what? I think I had exactly the same thing with Asher when we first watched it as well, and I said exactly the same thing.
I did that thing where I pulled my collar and went.
Just silly videos. That's it.
Just people falling over on each other. I think part of the problem I'm having with this film is the bad guy just doesn't seem reasonable. We're led to believe that he hates rich people. So now who's built a wingsuit and wants to kill Peter Parker, a 15-year-old?
Right.
So explain the motivations to me. What am I not getting?
Right. Okay. So what the thing is, right? The reason that I really like this guy as a villain, as it were, is because he's not like a super villain. He's not somebody who's trying to take over the world. He's not somebody who's trying to like destroy everything or whatever like that. He's just somebody who has been locked out of, what he wanted to do, out of regular society to a degree, because, he lost the contracts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and he lose one clean-up contract. That was
I know. But the thing is then the whole point is that he then sees like these big corporations like Stark Industries, the US government and that, just taking all this stuff, and he's just like, I want a bite of that. Like, I want that stuff. And so why can't I do that? Because so he gets in. I know, but you can't. But that's the whole thing. It's making a comment on the fact that, they're doing stuff which is maybe criminal. He's doing things that are criminal, but he gets in trouble for it because it's outside the law, if you see what I mean.
Right. Yeah, but he's dedicated his life to try and create weapons and sell them to criminals.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's right.
And
what I'm saying is
because he lost one of his cleanup jobs on a building site.
Yeah, but how is that any different to Stark's father, who did exactly the same thing? Apart from not, I mean, we don't know if he sold them to criminals or what, but he also spent the whole time, like buying and selling and making weapons as well.
Yeah, fine, but this guy, I just didn't feel the motive. And not only is it just, hey, he's just trying to make a living. He was like, I'm going to kill a 15-year-old child.
Yeah, because
my motivation now is to kill a 15-year-old child. And he was going, I'm doing this for my kids. I am doing this for my kids. And I'm like, surely you sell 3 of those weapons and you become a multi-millionaire. Surely.
He was unhinged as well. Like, there's an unhinged nature to this. But also, there's also he's redeemed at the end, I feel. Like, anyway, I mean,
he should have been more evil, I think. I think the fact that they tried to balance it between evil and understanding,
but this is what
not
I like
getting the balance right.
I
don't think they got the balance right.
But this is what I liked about it. I liked the fact that there was a bit of like another side to this. All too often in these films, you just have somebody who's like really, really bad, or like wants to destroy the world, or that sort of thing. And it was interesting to me to have somebody where the motivation is a bit different here. Like, it's a different motivation for why he's doing this.
But you need to see that motivation reflected in a more realistic way than, I want to make money and kill 15-year-olds.
Yeah, but that's not what he was saying. It wasn't, I want to kill 15-year-olds. It was, I want to kill somebody who's getting in my way, basically.
Of my business, which apparently he's only doing to keep his wife and kids afloat.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm not defending it. I'm not saying that what he did was right, but I'm saying that
I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm saying what he did didn't really make sense.
It's still a believable motivation, though. Of course it is. People do stuff like that all the time.
Do they? Really?
People do horrendous things just so that they can make a living, David.
Yeah, people do that. People lose one contract and then steal some alien.
You don't know. You don't know what
alien technology, create weapons, sell it to criminals.
No. People do stuff so that they can continue their businesses and stuff like that.
A big wingsuit, and then threaten to kill a 15-year-old. That's regular occurrence.
You didn't know he was 15.
I did by this point. It feels more like like one of the older superhero films as well. There's a scene in this that I really didn't like. We'll get to that. From the teen drama feel to the wacky score, the bit this is it. The bit where Peter breaks out of the rubble felt really dated to me.
Yeah, I mean that was another scene that was in there because it's a famous scene from one of the comic books,
right?
And they really wanted to include it. Like, this idea is from one of the Amazing Spider-Man ones where he smashes through, or is it Ultimate Spider-Man? I can't remember. Where he smashes through from the brick and all that kind of stuff. And
did you know much of this stuff going in?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
I wonder if that makes a big difference. I wonder if that makes a big difference.
It might do, because I like Spider-Man as a character. Like, I've seen all of the films I've seen. I mean, even they are pretty awful, like Amazing Spider-Man ones that came out more recently. And it's like this film got a lot right, like in terms of the character compared with those films.
That's what it is, because I'm going into this with no real love for the character or the world, or I had no idea that was like a big scene. Oh, this is that Spider-Man scene. I didn't know that. And when that sort of dated score came over the top as he was standing up and breaking through the rubble, I was like, this is like something from one of those old Batman ones, like the Batman Forever films. Like, that's what it felt like to me.
You see, also, I mean, the other thing that I really liked with this film is that, like, that they don't go through the whole origin story thing again either with this. He's just Spider-Man.
I appreciated that, but it still had a bit of origin story about it.
But also, I mean, like, Uncle Ben doesn't get mentioned, like, at all.
That's true.
In this film, which I think was a good thing. But I think honestly, the previous films that have come out from this, maybe that has coloured my thinking about this film to a degree. In that this was I feel this is significantly better than most of the ones that have come before.
No, I think maybe this is more aimed at Spider-Man fans.
Yeah,
and You're probably right. Everyone probably went into this going, "We've seen so many Spider-Man films. I'll be amazed if this is any good." And this isn't a terrible film. It's just not a very good one.
And also with the films, we've seen the same thing over and over again so many times as well.
Yeah, he gets bit by a spider and that.
And this is a bit different. Like this is a bit of a different. I mean, this is an earlier take on things, which is why I enjoyed it. I think as well.
Okay, right. Let me get through my last few notes. I guess. Yeah.
Shoot.
Spider-Man's wingman is absolutely battering Spider-Man in the plane wreckage. Spider-Man saves who I now think is called the Vulture.
He is. Yeah, he's Vulture. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because that was written on the note. They do that a lot in these films, don't they? Where they don't say the names. Yeah. Like Whiplash, we didn't know his name wasn't mentioned at all.
There's the whole of that with Wanda as well, which is
the whole first film they don't say her name, and then at the start of the next one they're like, "Hey Wanda," and I'm like, "Right, okay, that's her name then." Okay. Harry has fallen asleep. First time he's ever done this during one of these films.
Fucking hell. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. It's not. Yeah.
We woke up. So I watched the rest of the film, and then the next morning we watched From Here again, basically, so that Harry could see the ending of it. But don't worry, he says he absolutely adores this film. So I don't know what happened there. He just fell asleep.
Just tired.
I think he's just like Spider-Man. Honestly, he wasn't digging the film, James. There was no comments. You know how I've usually got quotes from him.
Yeah. Was there no quotes?
No quotes at all. Right.
See, this is another one though where I think that they could have trimmed 20 minutes off this and it would have been a better film. It's a bit long.
There's a big old chunk in the middle they could have got rid of. Michelle said, right. So this is right. The end scene where they're at the table, they bring the trophy down. Yeah. And they're talking about who's going to be the next team leader. Yeah. And Michelle says, "My friends call me MJ."
Yeah.
Is that a Mary Jane reference?
Yes, it is, yeah.
So she's Mary Jane?
No, she's not. She's Michelle and she is MJ, but it's a nod towards the fact that she's going to perform like the similar kind of role, basically, as MJ in the other stuff. So
Mary Jane is not going to be in the films?
No, she's not.
Michelle is... That's weird.
Yeah, I think they wanted to do something different. Basically, because it's been done so many times. That relationship. So they want it, and also she plays the character really differently as well. To all the others. So it's they want to do something different.
But I guess that's one of the ones that everyone went mental over, right?
No, actually, no. Really? That was not one that people were terribly bothered about.
Who was it? What were the ones that people were angry about then? Because we're right at the end of the film.
Mostly Marissa Tomei. They were not very happy about Aunt May. People were angry that she wasn't an old woman.
We knew that in the last one.
From Civil War, we knew that, but there was still backlash going on.
What were they saying about it?
They were just like, she's an old woman, she's supposed to be an old woman, she's too young, she's not supposed to be attractive, and all this sort of stuff. It's weird.
I do wonder, I don't know where I sit with that, because it is a bit weird that they've got an established character and they've made her an attractive woman.
But why? It makes sense, though.
Because everyone calls her an attractive woman. That's all people refer to her as.
I agree with that. But what I mean, if her being young, though, completely fits, in terms of the timeline and everything.
Yeah, no, I get that. You said that last time. Well, she would be if you're that age, whatever. But the fact that she's just there as a focal point for people to comment about how attractive she is kind of that's a bit fucking shit, isn't it?
It is a bit weird, yeah.
Okay, Hogan is now in the school toilet. That scene wasn't too bad. That was quite funny where that kid comes out.
Yeah, I did quite like that. I thought it was good.
New Avengers base shown off. New suit. Spider-Man now officially an Avenger. He's going to turn it down, isn't he? Yep. And I bet Stark knew he'd say that, and there are no reporters. No, wait. He called it out, so now I bet there are reporters. Because it kept doing the old flipperoo, but I was one step ahead of where the flip was every time. Yeah. Let's talk about the relationship between Stark and Peter Parker. I don't think this worked as well as they'd hoped.
Well, the thing is, it feels, from this scene, it feels that Tony, doing what was in Peter's best interests, I don't think he was. He was just... Do you know what I mean? They build up this idea that he's like a father figure.
Yeah.
But he's not really behaving like a father.
No.
At all.
No.
And he's basically just, reacting to whatever Peter does.
Here's the thing. Yeah. If you don't want him to be in the Avengers just yet, and he needs to train, Tony Stark should have worked out a system with him. He shouldn't have just, A, ignored him, B, told him he was, wrong.
He didn't ignore him.
He did ignore him, like when he was trying to ring him up and all that.
He put Happy on him, didn't he?
Hogan ignored him, whatever. You know, there was no training system there. It was, fuck you, go away, we'll give you a call later, right? Okay, it worked for the film, so I can overlook that sort of stuff. What I didn't like was the jump from you are not ready to, hey, you're definitely ready now.
Yeah.
Like, what was the thing that he did that changed?
It was saving all that stuff on it from the plane, I think, was basically it.
The stuff that he told him not to get involved with.
Yeah.
So he's been banging on about how he shouldn't be doing this, he shouldn't be doing that. He does it, and he says, brilliant, you're in the Avengers now.
He's proven himself, as being like, he actually can do it.
James, I've got a point here, haven't I?
You have got a point here, yes.
The relationship didn't work as well as I was hoping, because based on that first scene where they met each other,
it was so good, wasn't it?
It was so good.
Yeah.
And I don't think they quite caught it. It kind of felt like maybe it was one of those films where they had Robert Downey Jr. for like 2 days, and that was it.
But the biggest problem is the fact that it's because Tony is reactive to everything rather than proactively like doing anything. And if it had been that it was all like, oh, this is all a test, actually, what if that would have made much more sense and would have been more interesting, I think. But it's just that he's just like reacting is maybe not so good.
He was reacting, and the whole ending didn't work. Like the whole you've convinced me now that you should be in the Avengers. How? Because you did everything that I told you not to do. Okay.
Do you know who was originally going to be Parker's mentor though? Instead of Tony Stark?
Captain America.
No, it was going to be Nick Fury.
Okay, I would have dug that, I think.
Yeah, they wanted Nick Fury, but instead they decided to go with Stark because of the technology side of things.
Imagine if it's Hawkeye. Right, okay. Yeah, okay. Pepper Potts is back with Stark then. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I looked up about this because I was curious.
Explained in a comic book, was it?
No, it's not explained in the comic book. It's much more boring than that. Okay, so there was that whole thing about how they were on a temporary break and all that kind of stuff.
She hadn't signed a contract.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Her contract had expired for that film, and so they couldn't get her in that other film. So they just said they're on a break, and then she signed a new contract.
That's a move. That was a move to her agent. They were like, look at this film. We're teeing up that they're going to split up, and you're never going to see Pepper Potts again. Yeah. Sign at the lower fee, please.
And she did.
And she did.
So she's back. Yeah.
Ending was good though when May sees him in the suit and goes, "What the fuck?" And then it cuts. Right, we like that. Right, okay. Right, okay. We had to rewatch the ending with Harry the next morning. Harry gave it 9.5 out of 10.
Wow. Okay, even though you think that's not an accurate.
I don't think that. I think that's bullshit. I think it's because it was Spider-Man. He was not enjoying that film. Favorite bit when Spider-Man was getting his new suit is what he said. That was just again the last thing that happened in the film. I said I know I did what he's talking about. Post credits, Vulture in prison. Oh, he's protecting Peter Parker. That's nice. Yeah, I quite like that. And then post credits, Captain America Public Servants. These were These were my favourite bits. You can tell that these are separate from the thing, right? Even though there are loads of links to the Avengers and the events that have happened prior, you can tell that there's something different going on here.
Yeah, well, also it's because this was financed and distributed and everything by Sony. You see this film, and there is a slightly different kind of vibe because I don't know if you wanted me to tell you how this went down, because this went down over several years of protracted negotiations, basically, which are mad. So basically, what it was Sony wanted Marvel to produce a new trilogy of Spider-Man films, right?
Star Wars.
I know you said Star Wars, yeah. But then Sony insisted that they kept what they said was creative control, marketing, and distribution. Okay. So they'd have complete control over the character. Marvel were like, no, we're not doing that. So negotiations break down. So Sony went off and did their own stuff, and that's when they ended up with Amazing Spider-Man, which you probably obviously have no idea what that was. But this was where they tried to reboot Spider-Man again, and they had this guy called Andrew Garfield, who was Spider-Man in those films. Yeah, they did two of those films, and the second one in particular really didn't work out very well.
Right, okay. Is that the one? I'm trying to link my pop culture references. Is that the one with the infamous font that was stolen for the PlayStation?
No, that's the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man film.
Okay, all right.
Which was their first have a go at that. Right, but anyway, so
in between what they did ones after the Iron Man film.
No. This is there was films before the Iron Man films that were like Spider-Man films. There was 3 of them.
Yeah.
There was it was the Sam Raimi trilogy.
Right.
And then after like Iron Man and all that kind of thing, that's when we end up with like Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So you had the MCU had started.
Yeah. Yes.
And then they tried to release Spider-Man films but they were shit.
But then also, you see, Sony were because Sony owned like a whole ton of characters, not just Spider-Man, like from Marvel. Like they own like Venom, and there's like Venom as which and like loads of like bad guys and all that kind of thing. And they were coming up with this idea where they wanted to make their own cinematic universe using all this stuff. You see, like rather than being involved with the MCU, at all.
That's awful.
And so this did really badly. And then in 2015, after Amazing Spider-Man 2 did really badly, they did a deal with Marvel, and basically, this is they then allowed Spider-Man to be like integrated into MCU again.
Right.
So
okay.
and everyone was happy because it was like great. Now we're going
to get half decent films.
Basically, yeah. Although Venom was pretty good. I quite enjoyed that. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
okay.
But yeah, so there's a whole honestly, there was like a whole loads of wrangling about this for ages, and fans were all like angry and all that sort of stuff because it's like everyone did want Spider-Man in. I mean, one of the reasons obviously this is called Homecoming is because it's him coming, home, like to the MCU.
Okay, okay. So not some cool metaphor then.
No, it's like we paid some money and we got our character back.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I thought overall, this wasn't funny enough to be a comedy. Mm-hmm. It wasn't actiony enough to be an action film. It wasn't as coming of age as I was hoping it could have been.
Yeah.
I thought I've still got a lot of time for Tom Holland. I think the bits, it didn't feel like he was the issue that I was having with this film. Mm-hmm. I thought there was some really weird stuff in it that didn't click with me, and you saying some of the stuff you said about this film has sort of highlighted to me, they were definitely going for comic book references and stuff in this.
Yeah, definitely they were, yeah.
And I obviously didn't see any of that.
But then it's weird because they go for the comic book references and all that kind of stuff, but then also change quite a bit of things as well, to try and keep it fresh or trying to. But you would have known
that they'd have been changed, and I had no idea. And I think what was left was sort of a bit of a mess, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to watch the Amazing Spider-Man films.
Yeah, I know, I get that, right? But that's not an excuse for these.
No.
I was really disappointed because I've gone from not wanting to watch any Spider-Man films, I haven't really got any time for Spider-Man, to seeing that bit, all of the stuff that he did in Civil War and going, oh my God, I'm a Spider-Man guy. And then watching that Spider-Man film and going, okay.
No, I think the thing is, right, I think you're probably. I'm not going to say you're going to like the second one better, like No Way Home, but it's a better film, I think.
Okay.
But you see, for me, this film is. I'm not saying this is a very, very good film because it's not. Like, it's not an amazing film or anything. To me, it feels quite like rote, as in like they were going through the motions of bringing Spider-Man into the MCU, and it's. Yeah, as I said, it's not amazing, but it's just a reasonably solid film that's a bit too long. That's how I view it.
I would say it was kind of a average film that was too long.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bottom of my list. It's not nowhere near my top. I think that's where I'm going to sit with that. Shame. It's the first time we've really sort of disagreed on something.
I think so, because as I said, I still really like Vulture. I think because I like Michael Keaton though. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, and I thought he was alright in this. I thought that scene in the car. I wish there was more of that.
Yeah,
but instead we had lots of scenes with him and lots of him with his gang, the guy from that wrote that book in the 70s. Okay, all right. Well, what's next?
Thor Ragnarok.
What's next?
Yeah,
this better be good because you've hyped it up beyond.
Oh, come on! Everyone loves this film, which means you're going to hate it, and then we're going to have big arguments about this because this is like I really like this film. This is a film that I
thought at all. Really, I've not fallen for thought at any point.
This is a good film. It's a good film.
Okay.
Taika Waititi. It's a good film.
I like that guy a lot.
He's very funny, and this is a very funny film, I think.
I've got a lot of time for the fact that we're going to see the Hulk and Thor. Like, I wouldn't have put those two together.
Yeah.
So I'm quite interested to see where that goes.
Oh fuck, man! This is
I'm looking forward to. Is that another superhero that's in this film? Fuck,
man. Well,
he's my favourite.
During the Silver Age, it was.
Fuckman was played by.
It was Fuch man. You know,
Futchman. Sorry, I didn't like this one. Hopefully, I'll like the next one, and I will give you a bell afterwards.
All right, see you.
All right, later, mate. Bye.